Okay, welcome to Tom's garage, and what we got here is a '69 Ford Bronco. It was a junkyard rescue. I don't think the light's very good, but I bought this Bronco out of a junkyard, Jim Holly's junkyard actually, a couple years ago, and I have spent a lot of time on it. Replaced both rockers, replaced inner and outer rocker on the passenger side, just the outer rocker on the driver's side, redid the inner fenders, fixed some other rust issues, replaced the entire bed, and pulled the engine out of it. I also replaced all the floor pans and pulled the engine out and kind of cleaned it up. It looked pretty good inside, spun good. Put it back in and it runs really well. And well, I can't really see that, but the plan is probably next week I'm going to go ahead and start getting it ready to be painted. I'm just going to spray something on with a HVLP gun, probably some implement paint just to make it look good. Probably not going to spend a lot on it. You can see I got some Bondo here I need to work on, but that's the plan. I've already done the rear quarter here, got it prepped, and I'm going to work my way around and hopefully get it painted by the end of next week. Then we have a this is a Shelby Cobra replica Street Beast kit. I bought it from a gentleman in Plano. He had given up on it, and you know, I bought it from him. Came with instruction manuals. It appeared to be pretty complete with all the parts, and I started working on it last week. I've had it for about 6 months and was wrapping up another Bronco, which I'll do a separate video on. And what I've done on this one this week, I went ahead and it already came with 8.8, so I pulled the 8.8 off, repainted it, put in 5 lug axles, added the disc brakes, and cleaned everything up. I was going to stick with the upper and lower control arms that came with its stock, and I got them fitting good. They were really bouncing around before, but I've got some washers in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's some washers in there to make it fit better. And just talking to people and reading things, I've decided that I'm going to go with some solid upper and lower control arms, and I've ordered them from American Muscle, and they should be here next week. In addition, I've ordered some shocks from American Muscle that I'll put on. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit the struts. I think these came with struts, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to put the strut package on this due to clearance issues with the tires, because most likely 17s are going to be what I'm going to put on here, which is what's on here now are 17s. Coming to the front, it already had the coilover on it in the front, but they were real rusty, so I pulled them apart and cleaned them up real good and put them back on it, and now the car's rolling real good. Already had the rack on it up here from the previous owner. Just went through it and make sure the bolts are all tight. This coilover looks a little bit off compared to the other one, so I'm dipping about a 1/2 inch on the driver's side. You can see this is a little high, so I guess I need to adjust it. Not sure how to do that, but I guess we'll figure it out. And then the last thing I did is I mocked up the engine yesterday. This is a spare engine I have, a spare block, and I mounted it to the T5 that I'm going to use. And I used the mounts that came with the Street Beast kit, and they seem, and I tried to find the Napa part number that Street Beast said I needed, but that thing could not be found. And so I bought these mounts off at Summit, and if someone has a Street Beast kit and wants to know the part number, I can share that with you. But it fits pretty well. I've got to do some more grinding. I had to cut the Street Beast frame mounts a little bit to make these fit, and I need to grind this one a little more to make it fit better, because it's kind of a little off-centered right now, tilting to the driver's side. So The next thing to do is, get that coilover fixed, make it even with this one or get them adjusted properly, and then to figure out where the side pipes are going to go and make sure this engine location is going to work. Since I'm going to cut the drive shaft anyway, I could move the engine more forward, or I can move it more back. I've only got about 18 inches from the end of the transmission to the drive shaft, so that doesn't seem like that much to me. So I'm thinking about moving the engine 3 or 4 inches forward. It would help me in two ways. Number one, I've only got probably 3.5 to 4 inches clearance with the oil pan for the permanent engine over there, and then also would give me a little longer drive shaft, which I wouldn't mind having, but I'm worried it's going to mess up the weight distribution of the car if I move it forward, so that's a quandary. So here it is right here. I've only drilled 2 sets of holes at this point in the frame for the mounting, so I have to make a decision on, side pipe location, and if depending on how the side pipes, there's the body up there, I have it suspended from the ceiling. Depending on how the side pipes fit into the body and come out to the side with the engine location will determine where the engine goes, because I've got to find side pipes that fit, and I think I'm probably going to look at some factory 5 side pipes, but not sure. So this is where I'm at, December 24th. Probably going to really focus on the Bronco next week, and probably won't do too much to the Cobra next week, mainly because I'm waiting on parts, and I haven't even ordered the side pipes yet, so I can't get my final engine location until I have the side pipes. Got to pull the body down, etc., etc. So I guess I'll just mount the new control arms in the back and the shocks and fix this coilover up front. That's all I'll probably do next week. Have a good Christmas.